Here we are again. Good morning. So, for those of you that have never leased, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown because I'm getting sick and tired of people telling me that when you lease, all you do is throw money away. You are wrong. You do not throw money away. When you buy cars, especially new cars these days, you are throwing your money away. How? Well, let me put it to you this way. When you lease a car, you are only paying for a certain portion of that vehicle. That amount is the opposite of the residual value. Okay? The residual value is what the predicted amount that vehicle should be worth in 3 years, or a matter of whatever the term was, based on the mileage that you have predicted that you will be driving this vehicle for the next 3 years. Our Acuras only lease out for 3 years. That's usually that's honestly the best program. Why? In 3 years, I can almost guarantee you, if you're driving anywhere between 12 and 17,000 miles, you will not have to replace your tires. Any of you that have bought tires recently know they are not cheap. I can almost guarantee you that in the first 3 years, you will also not have to replace your brakes. Those of you that have replaced brakes knows that those are not cheap. And my little fast comment here is also Acura's factory warranty, bumper to bumper, is 4 years or 50,000 miles. So if you're driving even 15,000 miles per year, that would equal a total of 45,000 miles. So if you're driving 17,000 miles, you're still going to be within factory warranty. Okay, so now we're going to look at the flip side of this. Let's just say you bought this car, okay? All of these responsibilities are on you. Tires, brakes, any type of maintenance. If you plan on keeping the car past 4 or 5 years, I'm not saying they're gonna break. And this isn't just speaking in general of my Acuras, this is speaking about any vehicles. These aren't cars anymore, guys. These are supercomputers with tires. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's true. Make horrible getaway vehicles. You gotta wait for it to all load up and everything. So just think about this. You have an opportunity to drive a vehicle for 3 years, like you normally would, before you have to get into your major maintenance costs. You have the option to step away from this car. So let's see here. So not only will you be paying, this is numbers, this is real numbers, guys. An average lease payment on an average purchase payment versus a lease payment is typically $200 to $300 less per month to drive the same car. Think about it. $200 to $300. Okay, so let's take $250, multiply that out by 36. 10 grand. You will have, I guarantee you will have $10,000 more in your pocket driving that same car for a matter of 3 years. Now, here's the best part. Usually what I tell my customers is 2 to 3 years, or 3 to 6 months before the end of your term, go get that car appraised. You can call for a payoff. You can find out what your payoff is at any given time as you are paying down on this lease, as you would on a normal purchase. So get the car appraised. Don't come and see me. If you don't believe me, that's fine. Go to CarMax. Go get it evaluated at wherever. Just get it evaluated. Now, the way I always set up my leases is no money down. First payment, license, doc fee, that's it. because in 3 years, you will have this $10,000. So if you still love this vehicle and it makes monetary sense to buy out at the end of the 3 years, that is when you put your money down. This is when you buy the car out. Now, let's just say the car's not worth the predicted amount, I'll use myself as an example. When I had my RLX, I absolutely loved that car. That was the nicest car I've ever had. Even did some customizations to it. Yes, it was a lease. And you know what happened? At the end of 3 years, no matter how much I loved it, I gave it back. Do you know why? Because my predicted amount, the residual value at the end of 3 years, was supposed to be $36,788. Sadly, nobody had known that the vehicle's value would have depreciated as much as it did. But that car then, at the end of 3 years, even with less miles than what I had signed up for, was worth $26,000. Yes, $26,000. Now think about that. Not only did I keep at least that $10,000 in my pocket while driving the best car I ever had, up until my MDX, of course. But I didn't have to buy tires. My tires were borderline. I didn't have to buy brakes. My brakes were borderline. Warranty I didn't have to extend because obviously the car had about 32,000 miles on it, so I was still within factory warranty. But I did not lose $11,000 as opposed to if I would have bought that same car, because of the difference in what the residual was and what the car's actual value is. Now, don't be one of these people that come in I don't care if it's here or anywhere else. Whatever you owe on a car does not mean that is what your car is worth. It doesn't, okay? You finance, here, let's just say you're like most typical people that buy cars. You put down no money down, you finance the whole thing, you get the extended warranty. So let's just say the sale price was 30. By the time you walk out of here, you owe like 38. That car is no longer new. That car is already depreciated. What are you doing? Don't you work hard for your money, guys? Yeah, when my parents immigrated to this country 40 years ago, everything was cash, 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 cash. Why? Because the average car was 5 to 10 grand. Understandable. Then they came out with financing. And this financing usually was a 36-month term with an interest rate of 12.99%. This is when my parents, for instance, would put down as much as they possibly could because they did not want to pay the interest charge. And odds are that was compound interest back then too, so the banks always got their money. So this is where the mentality of putting a lot of money down came in. Okay, things have changed. A decade later, cars were more expensive. Next thing you know, we've got 48-month financing, 60-month financing. Interest rates got better. It's no longer 12.99%. It's 1.9%. It's 2.9%. But we're still putting 10 grand down. Can you not make money on 10 grand? More than 2.9% or 1.9%? Guys, it's no secret. As soon as you buy a car, you drive out, you lose. Why? Because you've depreciated the car. It's no longer a new car, it's a used car now. Now, it may only have 10 miles on it, but it is now a used car. My job is to help you make the most educated decision on your next new vehicle. Going back into the financing aspect of it. So, nowadays, the average car, you can't get a Kia for less than 30 grand these days, guys. So, okay, let's just drop 30 grand on a car. Put down $10,000. Never see that money again. Do you understand that? When you put down anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 on a new vehicle and you buy that car for a matter of 60 to 72 months, that money is as good as gone. So let's think about it. You can drive the same car, save 10 grand, and then walk away from it and start fresh. You know, especially my Polish people like to come in here and go, oh, I never own anything. You're never gonna make money on a car. Actually, incorrect. You can make money on a car, not a car that you drive on an everyday basis. The car that you can make money on is a classic car, maybe, unless you're horrible at taste and go pick up a piece of shit that is not gonna make you money. But the game is completely changed, guys. Nowadays, you want to get the most and pay the least. Cars are changing so quickly, okay? I have a 17 MDX, my wife has a 16 TLX, and my 17 MDX was outdated in 18 when Acura decided to put Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in the MDXs. The 19 also had additional equipment put on it, different packages. 20, you're gonna have a brand new MDX coming out. Same thing with the TLX. My wife is in a 16 that had none of the adaptive cruise, none of the lane keep assist, none of the collision mitigation. You actually had to go up to the advanced package, believe it or not, in order to get any of that stuff. And that advanced package is only available in the V6 top tier model. So it was pretty much like a $15,000 swing. Well, guess what? The base models in our entire lineup come with adaptive cruise, come with lane keep assist, with road mitigation and lane departure, come with collision mitigation braking system. This is the base car. So much has changed in so little time. What can you expect now in the next 2 to 3 years? You know, people kind of laugh at me when I tell them I may be your next pod salesman. We'll see who's laughing, guys. I think it's coming. I think it's coming a lot sooner than y'all think, and it's going to be a little bit of an awakening. Since we are creatures of habit, those of you that have not been taking advantage of your features on your vehicles in the last 1 or 2 years, you're going to be left behind, and you're going to freak out because odds are these pods will be coming, and they will be taking you from point A to point B safely. As statistically said, we are 93% of accidents, guys. We are so preoccupied. It's nuts. It's nuts. And I tell this to people all the time. You know, just my wife and I have been hit 3-4 times. I even lose count because it's crazy. And it's, you know, not all of them were major accidents, but it's the inconvenience. Okay? So now let's go back into accidents. What happens to your vehicle's value after an accident? Okay. We have a thing called Carfax these days. Whether it's a small fender bender, a scratch on a bumper, car doesn't get totaled. You bought the car. You want to get it fixed. Cool. You're not thinking about 3-4 years down the line when you want to sell that same car and want to get top tier money because that's your baby. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Joe Blow shows up at your house and goes, dude, see this? This is the Carfax. Your car had an accident. Are you nuts asking for clean money on a car with an accident? Another thing you don't have to deal with on a lease. See, if an accident does happen, and God forbid you do get into an accident, A, I'll know you're safe because every single one of my cars has a 5-star crash test rating. B, you won't have to suffer the repercussions of what that accident may have caused. When Carolina got hit the second time in her TLX that caused about $10,000 worth of damage, no matter how much she may have loved the car, I've already made the educated decision that at the end of the lease, we are not going to be buying that car. Why? It will never be worth what it could have been before the accident. Guys, I may not be the smartest person in the world. I know programs, I know cars, and I know Acura. And I'm always here for you should you have any questions. So before you spend your money wisely, and especially you people that are driving around in the freaking car that you're attached to at the hip and it's worth $200, and your average bill on the car monthly is about $400 to $500. Think about how much you're spending, guys. Why? Why are you spending the money on a car that's a lost cause? Shit will continue to break. Do you understand this? And unexpected surprises will come out of your pocket because you do not have a warranty. And guess what? If you do have a warranty and your car is a higher mileage car, odds are the shit that'll break is not covered. So just get a new car. People, listen to me. All right, before y'all brains explode, I think that's enough for today. Maybe we'll do leasing lesson 102 sometime later this week. But again, I'm here to help you make the most educated decision. You work hard for your money, as do I. Don't just throw it away. Call me before you do anything. I'm always around. Sibo out. Sharing's caring. Love y'all.